our hands are out there all the time. And a lot of time, even with our face, we're so careful and we're putting our SPF on and wearing our hats. And what about your hands?
Right,
I mean, on
right.
a normal day, I don't think to put SPF on my hands.
Yeah,
Might put emo oil or hand cream, but
for sure.
I don't.
We are going to be talking about hand and arm peels. And I know we do get a lot of questions about that because everybody's always treating their face, neck, chest. And it's something that, you might, as you're aging, look down and notice that your hands are starting to get a little crepey and maybe a little less smooth as they used
I
to
think
be.
it's one of the first places that we really start to show.
Some pigmentation issues sometimes happen in some spots. What can customers do, and what peels do you recommend and treatments for hand and arm peels?
Yeah, I mean, our hands are out there all the time. And a lot of time, even with our face, we're so careful and we're putting our SPF on and wearing our hats. And what about your hands?
Right,
I mean, on
right.
a normal day, I don't think to put SPF on my hands.
Yeah.
Might put emo oil or hand cream, but
For sure.
I don't. No, luckily, maybe if I lived in Las Vegas or something, I might be more
Right.
adamant with that, but I'm not. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I have things I need to address as well. And I always want to say, like, when you're doing your face products and you have more, put it in your hands,
Right,
in your
yeah.
arms, as far as you can get that to go. Don't just like waste it or wipe it on your pants. Vitamin C,
Wipe it on your hands
anything.
before you wipe it on your towel.
Wipe
right?
it on your hands. So, let's say you're just starting fresh. Obviously, whether you want to do a peel or not, you have to prepare. You have to prepare your skin. So there's a couple things. Obviously, we want to thin any of those dead layers.
Okay.
And you can just do these two things alone. In all honesty, some people, if you're getting the dry crepiness, something like this is all you need. Use like our 15% body wash with glycolic and lactic. That will help to exfoliate the dead skin.
Right.
And then you can use the Triple Treat body lotion. This is 25% acid. And this here just makes sure all that dead skin comes off. And you can
Excellent.
just rub this right on the top. I don't recommend caking it on the insides of your hand. It can be,
Yeah, it's a little, the acids have a
it's
little
a treatment, not a lotion.
more of a sticky feel. So yeah, you definitely want to wash your hands after, at least the palms of your hands.
Yes. And I think, these two are excellent for daily use and also for preparing to do a peel.
For sure.
So for sure.
Obviously, Fade Bright would be another preparation, especially for clients with darker skin types. Crepiness. Crepiness. What can we
Right.
use to help with the crepiness besides the Triple Treat
Right.
lotion?
So
is
exfoliating,
amazing. Yes.
number one.
Yes.
And then we have a great product, which is the copper. It's the GHK Crepey Skin Escape. And that is really, really good.
Yes.
I highly suggest people, I suggest using the coppers at night, though you could totally use it during the day. But that has
Yes.
a lot of smoothing properties. And that is going to be super helpful. What I do recommend, though, is if you're putting Triple Treat on, we can't use Triple Treat and GHK at the same time.
Got it.
So that's kind of like a little tip. Use GHK one day, use Triple Treat the next day. And since we only want to apply something like this once every other day
Sure.
or every 2 days, that works really well. So you can put this on,
Alternate.
and then the next day you can put the GHK Crepey Skin Escape on.
Perfect.
And I think that's like that's pretty much the number one thing I recommend to people.
Absolutely.
And obviously, other than that, peels, of course. So if you're dealing with hyperpigmentation, obviously Jessner's is key. Okay, this has your lactic, salicylic, and resorcinol. Very much like hydroquinone. It helps to turn down the melanin production. It helps to get that pigmentation off. So if somebody was coming to me and they're like, well, my hands are looking old, but I really hate all these spots.
Right.
I would say, okay, let's start with Jessner.
Okay.
So, because this is our number one for
Now,
that.
could they spot treat just the spots? Do you recommend, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, you could. If you just got like a handful of spots, you could. But I sometimes feel like just do it all.
Yeah.
Because Jessner is beneficial. It's anti-aging as well. It's not like it's
Sure.
not going to do anything. So maybe put a couple of extra layers on those spots. That's what I would be like. Do one whole layer and then maybe like your second and third layer. Just, dab on, get a little Q-tip, dab on those handful of spots. I think that would
makes
work
sense.
really well.
Perfect.
And then if you're coming to me and it's mostly like wrinkles or crepiness
Right.
or just in general aging, then I would always reach for something like TCA. And that's where you kind of have to make a choice, because if you're a little bit older, let's say you're 60s and on, your skin starts to thin.
Okay.
So where I would tell somebody that's, maybe in their 40s or 50s, go ahead and use TCA 30, right? This is perfect.
Right.
Generally, this is what you want. We want a little higher percentage for your body. But if you're dealing with really thin skin and it's like crepey and, you can see through it a little bit, I mean, you need to be much more gentle. So we need to go down to
Right.
maybe like a TCA 20 or TCA 13.
So a lesser acid.
Lesser percentages. Lesser percentages.
Got
And
it.
obviously the same thing goes for the darker the skin too. So
Okay.
you have somebody that's got, Fitzpatrick 7, which is only like an olive colored skin, Asian, Mediterranean. They need to use a little gentler acid as well.
Okay.
And of course they need to prep with things like Fade Bright.
Hydroquinone.
Hydroquinone
Yeah.
is an alternative,
Turn down
because
the
you don't
melanin.
want to put a super high percentage on and cause more pigmentation. So prepping is key. And there are other acids too, right? You could do the lactic peel if you want something really gentle, or glycolic 70. This
Right.
is another option. And we have a video showing, glycolic 70 versus TCA 30.
Right.
I can say that I definitely got a better peel with the TCA 30 than with the glycolic 70.
Okay.
But if you don't want excessive amounts of dead
Exactly.
skin coming off, then this might be exactly what you're looking for. Definitely stronger than this.
Let's talk about layering. I know TCA is an acid that you layer.
Yeah.
But now when you're working on the body and you're using a high percentage, what are your thoughts on layering it?
On layering,
Like how
right.
many layers? If somebody was starting off, they have light skin, they're going to use the TCA 30 on their hands. What do you recommend?
Yeah, TCA 30. Now, normally, TCA 13, 20, we can just keep layering these all day long.
Right.
You don't have to stop at 5 layers. You could work your way up to 8, 10 layers. It
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Mhm.
But when you've reached TCA 30, it is so strong that we do state that you can kind of work up. Now, I expect somebody to have done a TCA 30, 1-layer peel, multiple times, like 3 times
With
in
one
a
layer.
row with 1 layer,
Okay.
and your skin is handling this very well.
Okay.
Then if you want to add on 1 additional layer, you can try that.
Okay.
Never put more. And if you have thin skin, do not layer the TCA 30.
Got it.
I would rather see somebody go down to a TCA 20 if you want to put multiple layers
Okay.
on, or if you want to mix acids, because sometimes you can do like a Jessner and a TCA.
Okay.
That's another question that we go, well, can I layer the Jessner
Yes.
with the TCA 30?
Yes.
I really don't
Yeah.
like that. I
Yeah.
really feel like that's too strong. I would say let's dilute your 30 down to like a 20,
Right.
and let's do a Jessner and then like a TCA 20 instead. I just feel it's safer.
What about a peel booster? We offer peel boosters for the face.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on peel booster for the body?
Yeah, you can use luminosity, and that's fine. You can put that all over wherever you need. And you could use that for the first few days, or people always want to use Dream Peel. And I think Dream Peel is perfectly fine if you're doing a smaller area.
Okay.
Okay, so you did your TCA or your Jessner and you want to boost it and end with a little bit of vitamin A Dream Peel. I think if you're doing an area that's like your hands and your arm, both your hands and arms, that's fine coverage. What I don't want to see is I don't want to see this on like full legs or full torso.
Right, right.
Because it's just too much vitamin A, and vitamin A in super large quantities on your body does not have enough studies to know that that's safe for you.
So you want to break it up.
You definitely want to break it up. It's like a small area, your hand and arm, fine.
Got it.
But don't be putting it, slathering it on your full legs
Got it.
and torso, and that I think that's too much.
Okay.
And until they come out, and there are a couple studies showing that, or a few doctors feeling that, yeah, it's okay to put this on larger quantities. But for the most part, it's older information, and I don't want to tell somebody to do it. We have to just be careful.
let's talk about how long it takes for the body to peel
Oh,
and why we recommend body peels only one time per month.
yeah. So yeah, when you're looking at your face takes, 3 to 5 days to start, 3 to 5 days to finish. You're done. Six
Right.
to 10 days, your face is done. Now, even just going down onto
Right.
your neck and your décolleté, which is just mere inches away,
Mm-hmm.
you've already added time on.
Mm-hmm.
This is normally about 10 to 14 days,
Right.
sometimes even longer.
Right.
So now the further you get on your legs, your arms,
Mm-hmm.
that takes 30 days for sure to
Mhm.
turn over, sometimes even a little bit longer.
Right.
I feel like it's normally about 10 to 14 days before you start to see
that
dryness
peeling
from
and
that peel.
flaking.
Like you could have done that peel
Mm-hmm.
and forgot about it because it's been
Yeah.
so long. I mean,
Yeah.
like 10 days later, 12 days
Absolutely.
later, and you're like, why is my arm dry?
Mhm.
Oh, I did that peel.
Right.
Because it takes so long. And that's
Mhm.
exactly why we can't do it more than once a month. People are like, well, nothing happened. Can I do it again? No, you gotta wait.
Yeah.
Because it takes time. It once that starts peeling, it's gonna continue peeling for a while.
Right.
Like
And you could
a
peel
couple
and
of
think you're
weeks.
done, and then it might peel
And
again.
then it might peel again.
Right.
Yeah, because there is a handful of people that, let's say they'll do an arm peel. And I mean, it might be 5, 6 days later, they're
Mhm.
peeling. I'm like, wow, that's so early.
Right.
And they're like, oh no, I'm all done. I'm like, I don't think so. I
Yeah,
don't think
they're gonna
so.
get more.
I think it's going to be another wave of peeling.
Yeah.
And that can happen. That top part just reacted
Right.
quickly and came off, but it penetrated deeper, and now you're going to have more coming off.
So it's very important for them to wait that full month. You don't want to interrupt that recovery time
No.
post peel because that's when all the magic is happening beneath the skin and stimulating things and all
Oh,
the good
yeah.
stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Perfect. Perfect. Let's talk moisturizing
After your peel.
after your body peel.
After your
Yes.
peel, yeah. So we use this lotion, obviously, before we did our peel to prep, but this is not a great lotion to put on after. This is not going to help you
That
feel
is
more
a strong
comfortable.
acid treatment, and that is probably not the best choice post peel.
Correct. I recommend two things mostly. I recommend either the emu oil
Mm-hmm.
or shea butter for the body. And I couldn't choose between them. Like they both work so well. I feel like emu oil is good and it lasts for a long time, but if you really need like excessive heavy coverage, like
Right.
the nothing beats this butter. And it's also, a little bit anti-inflammatory. It's healing because this is
Cool.
just pure shea butter. There's nothing
Yeah.
nothing else in here. And this is very healing and very good for your skin. I find like if you're getting dry and itchy, take your shower while your skin is still
Right.
damp. That's when you got to like lock in any moisture
Sure,
that you have,
sure.
which isn't going to be much after a peel. But, a little bit of emu oil, a little bit of shea butter.
Perfect.
I think that works really, really well.
Excellent. Healing oil, I see that sitting over there. That's
We
probably a
do.
great option if they want to add a couple drops in.
This is, but because obviously this comes in a
It's a
much
tiny
smaller
bottle,
bottle. So if
yes.
you were doing like arms and hands
Yeah.
and stuff, absolutely. Or as you said, you could mix.
I like to
And
mix
I
them.
like to
I
mix
like
the emu
that
oil in
too.
this.
Me too.
I mix both of these together
Mm-hmm.
every single time I do something, to be honest with you.
Nice.
I almost feel sometimes that the essential healing blend is a little bit less irritating.
Mm-hmm.
And emu oil is not irritating at all. But like when I do a vitamin A peel, if your skin is really sensitive, this is the best.
Right, for sure.
This is the best. This does not irritate at all. You could just drip this on a cut. Nothing. Just calming.
Excellent. Anything else that I am missing here regarding hand and arm peel? Sunscreen, of course, is obviously very
SPF.
important after
50.
the peel for weeks. I mean, probably a month after your body peel. You want to continue to apply SPF if you're out and about.
Yep.
But yeah, perfect.
I could think of just a couple of things, and they're just not necessarily for peel, but just treatments in general.
Sure.
So, things like copper, skin remodeling, if you're aging and getting thin skin, very beneficial. And if, as we age, it gets thinner, your tendons show more. It's just your hands look old. We have very, very thin fat on our hands, right? So we want to stimulate a little bit more. People will get fat injections and things to make their hands appear a little bit younger. So we have a new ingredient here, this adipafil. And what adipafil does is when you apply it, it works with whatever adipose tissues you have, and it stimulates more adipose tissue. So if you have that on your hand where you're starting to see like that fat layer is getting really thin
right.
and you can see through and see everything,
Hmm.
using something like this every day or adding it into your emo oil or whatever when you put it on your hands, this can be very helpful.
So just a couple drops, kind of.
Couple drops is all
Mhm.
you need.
Yeah.
And then, for collagen, I'm just thinking of like, thickening, strengthening things for your hands, like Sinti C is another one.
Excellent.
And you can get like a 2 potion combo of both of these for your hands. I would
Yeah,
put this
that'd
on
be great.
first,
Yeah.
and then I would put, a nice penetrator like emo oil on top. I think that would be a
And
super.
emo oil also has skin thickening properties. And
It does.
a super healer or super moisturizer as well. I
Yeah.
notice if my hands start to get a little crepey, you're feeling dehydrated and such. Obviously, drinking water is very important.
Yeah.
But I feel like the emu oil really does really kick in right away and kind of help smooth things out.
It does. It's something that I reach for constantly.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah, so I mean that's it. That was like peels, pre-treating, aftercare, multiple things to choose from. And I think
Absolutely.
that's a well-rounded view.
Be patient. Let the skin naturally exfoliate. Don't pick, don't pull.
Nope.
Let it exfoliate on its own.
Yeah, please don't pick.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
perfect. We will get them on their way with their hand and arm peels.
Perfect.